hope you can see my screen and presentation. So my name is Neil. Today we are going to talk about Windows PowerShell automation scripting. So little quick introduction about myself, having overall 13 plus years of IT and more than 8 plus years of experience in managing teams and experience Windows Server and architecture Active Directory. Also working with the cloud security. And I have certified earlier with his MCSA 2012 servers, AZ1R for Associate Cloud Administrator, and recently taken that is C300 Microsoft Identity and Access Administrator. So what is our agenda today, right? We would be talking about what is PowerShell, why we need it, and this course will help everyone from scratch, from who are in this session today, join, who are fresher, who are new to this PowerShell, and already who know some PowerShell basic things, who are working this PowerShell, making you to basics to advanced level, right? And we would be going to talk about Windows PowerShell commands and syntax, PowerShell script security, command-led demo, how we can start it. We will talk about few use cases, PowerShell script and use cases. And we would be comparing with the other automations tool, which is Python, Ansible, and PowerShell. There are some limitation in PowerShell, right? And which scenario, which situation we would be using for this PowerShell, and compare with the Python and Ansible, what are the changes are there, we will be talking about. So what is PowerShell? Why we need it? I just said earlier, PowerShell is a powerful command line shell and scripting, right? Scripting tool or scripting languages, primarily designed for the system administrators in Windows environment. It provides a command line interface where users can execute the commands, perform administrative tasks, and automate the task using script. This is just a basic definition of the PowerShell. When you talk about the automation, PowerShell allows the automation of repetitive tasks, making it easier to manage and maintain systems. Scripts can be created to perform tasks as a system configurations, file management, user management, reporting. Obviously, the main agenda for this PowerShell is saving a time and reducing the human error, right? Now, where we need to use a PowerShell. PowerShell is extensively used for the various scenarios, especially within Windows-centric environments for a wide range of tasks where we are using system administration, who are there, Windows Server, Active Directory, Office 65, cloud services, Microsoft Azure, deployment of configuration, SCCM, networking, database, VMware. So as I said earlier, this is a centralized critical or making automations things for all the technologies. Every administrator must use a PowerShell for automation. Who are there? Storage administrator, backup administrator, server administrator, VMware, Active Directory, security, cloud, database. But this PowerShell make you to things automated. This very much needed, correct? And where we need to use the PowerShell, we would be having some use cases we'll talk about. Think about you are in the call, there's a P1 applications team asking, I would need create a one folder quickly in multiple servers. It's very simple two-line script, but it's an impact more. They asked you to, there are 100 application servers and we need to, the applications down, we need to create a app.db folder in all 100 server. Next 10 minutes. Do you think that is in this app.db folder creating manually for all 100 server within 10 minutes? It won't, right? So this script make you to, script is very small, but it's more make you to more impact, more effective. So again, some add registry key to multiple remote server. Something impacted, something patch deployed last night, and due to that patch, there one of the registry key is been corrupted or value got changed. We need to return back that value for the multiple servers. This kind of requirement manually, it will take more time, right? In the within a few minutes, that kind of requirements it will be fixed. So very much needed. This kind of skills very much needed, right? Verify the specific service running on multiple servers. Yes, because something impacted, something you deploy the patches, and because of that, this is happened. This is a common things every day. We would need another in our day-to-day operations. I have seen that multiple because of the patch deployment. There are many things is impacting in our environment. but we need to quickly solve that issues, right? There are services are stopped due to that patch deployment, and it's impacted my operations activity. So remove disabled users from specific groups. So now the requirement come to this is just task, not for the user. We wanted to identify the users are disabled from the longer period and still they are existing in our environment. We wanted to find those all the across my activated infrastructure. The disabled users, we need to find it and remove it from the groups. And also we can plan for the, these are all basic, very basic things, but it's the impact is more, it's a needed very much day-to-day operations. We know that is in disabled users, we need to move the specific disabled OU. We have created disabled, we need it to move automatically. So whenever you do the disabled users, automatic this user should move to the disabled OU. So after 2 months, after 3 month the timeline, then later we would be deleting from this users from the disabled OU. And if you talk about the cloud, we need to create a VM1, the name of the VM1 in Azure cloud environment, specific region. So we don't want to, it's a one VM. Now tomorrow, if you have a requirement around 20 machines, I need to deploy in VM in a cloud environment in a specific region. Yes, it's very much needed for the PowerShell. It would help you to quickly create those VMs. So first, most important, you need to understand before you begin with these use cases, what is actual PowerShell works. So you should understand the commandlet structure, how that commandlet structure. How do I begin? How do I start my PowerShell? Commandlet structure using help commandlet, update help, parameter variable. What do you mean by this? So first, most important, when you go to the PowerShell, there are 4 type of console. Okay, PowerShell, 4 type of console. What are those? Number 1 is basically they divided into 64-bit and 32-bit console. So one is we would be using for the direct console 64-bit. Second one is direct console 32-bit. And third one is there is a ISE console, which is integrated script extension or integrated script engine, which we are using for 64-bit. And the fourth one is same ISE console, 32-bit. So this ISE is a script method, scripting console, right? And this is for the direct console. For example, if you see, if you go to the start button, it's a default PowerShell would be available. All the Microsoft operating system start with Windows 2008. This PowerShell technology, PowerShell tool was introduced from 2008 onwards. Yeah, sorry, who is this? Yeah, I can hear you. Anyone has any question? Guys, anyone has any questions so far what we discussed? Okay, so please raise your hand or you can stop me in between if you have any questions. So very basic level, you need to understand this. How many type of we have? 4 type of console. So when you click on the star, you would go to the directly, scroll down here. You would be having one folder called as a Windows PowerShell. So you just expand here, you would be able to see Windows PowerShell. It's a direct console. Windows PowerShell x86. x86 indicate for the 32-bit. And Windows PowerShell ISE and out file is a get the report, get the output report. From PowerShell to local path. You can save that anywhere, right? Local drive. This is kind of the save the reporting part. but you wanted to have that CSV format. I don't want to for this notepad file. And there is other method called as a you need to use for import hyphen CSV and export hyphen CSV. Same process. You wanted to have the CSV format, which is read the file, Excel file, or read the CSV file. Import hyphen CSV, read the CSV file from the system to PowerShell. Export hyphen CSV, get the output report for the saving file. This you would be using. So this is a commandlet, right? Always we need to know that is in which commandlet I need to use and how do I use it. That is only important. The formula you need to understand this. You getting?
Yes, Neil. Thank you so much.
Okay, no worries. It's just a very simple. We'll come back, right? This is all we will be going to talk about. So now see this. These are all how many commands are there? How many commandlets are there? If you ask the PowerShell to in my system get hyphen command and I say count, get hyphen command, you would be able to see this how many number of commandlets are there. Maybe when you type the same command, see this 7,994 commandlets are there. And might be when you check your system, it might be less because I have additional commandlets. I have used it. You see this all the commandlets are there, right? The second important here, I know these are 7,900, but I need to find my relevant commandlet. What is that? I am looking for check all the services information. I would need for that is in service related. I don't know the commandlet. So you can ask the PowerShell by using wildcard. What is that wildcard here? Which is called star, right? So come back to the PowerShell. Get hyphen service is get hyphen command is a commandlet. In this, I wanted to find service. See this? You would be able to see this many things again. A little smarter way. If you wanted to find that, you can use that is in get, the common get, right? Get hyphen command. Okay, and get is a common, then use the service. Okay, now see, you would be able to see the commandlet here, get hyphen services. So always you need to find the relevant command, get hyphen service. Okay, I found that get hyphen service. What do I do the next? And this commandlet, what are the additional information I need to understand? So how do I process it? I wanted to check a specific service, check the status is running or stop the services. How do I know that? To process of the further, remember every commandlet we have that is in default information. Every commandlet we need to check. What are the default parameters. So parameter means what? I need to work on this commandlet. I wanted to check the service name. I wanted to check the status of the service. I wanted to check the specific display name of the service, right? To find that, we must need what are the default parameters. So to find that, I need to ask to find these default parameters.